Ancient India is frequently framed as a static spiritual realm. Its actual history was a high-stakes political laboratory where nomadic tribes were hammered into some of the most complex engines of power in the ancient world. The shift from tribe to state was driven by economics. The arrival of the Iron Age provided the tools to clear the dense forests of the river valleys, unlocking an explosion in agricultural production. This sudden surplus of grain created a new set of problems: the birth of private property, wealth disparity, and the hardening of social classes. The political state was essentially an invention of necessity, a mechanism designed to protect this newly hoarded wealth and manage the friction of a settling society. By the 6th century BCE, the landscape had coalesced into 16 Mahajanapadas, or great states, concentrated along the fertile river systems of the north. These new powers maintained their survival through two institutional breakthroughs: permanent standing armies and the systemic taxation required to feed them. These silver punch-marked coins represent the earliest physical evidence of this centralized economic control. By standardizing weights and stamping these metals with symbols of royal authority, early kings projected their power directly into the pockets of their subjects, ensuring permanent control over their populations. The era of tribal equality had vanished, replaced by a millennium of fierce political warfare that would reshape the subcontinent. As these states matured, they diverged into two distinct political experiments: absolute centralized monarchies and Ganasanghas, or republics. In a Ganasangha, power was distributed among a democratic or oligarchic assembly. This system proved that ancient Indian political thought was far more diverse than simple autocracy. The monarchistic path reached its ultimate expression in the Mauryan Empire. Using the Brahmi script to broadcast imperial edicts, the Mauryans absorbed their neighbors and centralized nearly the entire subcontinent. The experiment in total centralization ended violently. The Shunga assassination of the last Mauryan king caused the entire imperial structure to fracture. The Mauryan collapse demonstrated that at this point in history, absolute continent-wide control was too brittle to survive. The post-Mauryan era was defined by chaos, as the Shungas and Kanvas fought for the center while the borderlands disintegrated. To the northwest, the Achaemenid Persians led the first wave of foreign incursions into the power vacuum. They were followed by a Greek invasion that further destabilized the regional borders. Eventually, the Kushans established a massive, wealthy stronghold in the north, importing new ideas of imperial administration. While foreign empires dominated the north, indigenous republics like the Yaldeyas maintained their independence through fierce, localized resistance. This relentless pressure from foreign invaders and local defiance forced Indian political systems to become highly adaptable, acting as a forge for new administrative technology. By the late 3rd century CE, the subcontinent was a fractured mosaic of competing territories, rather than a single unified empire. In the center, indigenous powers were gaining ground, with the Nagas controlling the Midlands and the Vakataka dynasty rising in the Deccan. Historical narratives frequently dismiss this fragmentation as a political dark age or a failure of the state. This mosaic functioned as a fertile, decentralized ecosystem. It tested foreign administrative concepts against native resilience to find the most durable state model. On the eve of 319 AD, the subcontinent possessed a rich blueprint of Mauryan statecraft, republican administration, and foreign administrative techniques. In eastern India, a power vacuum was emerging, waiting for a ruler who could synthesize these competing systems into something new. A local ruler named Chandragupta stepped into this void. He leveraged the existing political mosaic to consolidate power with remarkable speed. In 319 AD, he established the Gupta Empire, fundamentally altering the trajectory of the subcontinent. The millennium of state-building and violent collapse preceding this moment served as the mandatory evolutionary crucible required for India's classical golden age to emerge.